Spider-Man Brand New Day, new promo has just been released and it's doing a really great job at getting me, and I'm sure all of you, really excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is being rumored to possibly be the best Spider-Man movie that we have gotten so far out of all the Spider-Man movies, which is a really big thing to say. What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. Spider-Man is back, and Sony and Marvel Studios have just released kind of a BTS video of them filming some of the scenes for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, some of these we've seen before, but some are new. But regardless, it is just really cool to see how practical this film is mostly going to be. Sure, they're going to use green screens for some of the scenes, but in this BTS, we see a lot of practicality in it, whether it's him literally swinging to a rig that is literally moving via a vehicle, just swinging back and forth doing practical swinging, or it's him riding on top of a car or getting hit backwards. It all looks insanely cool, and I'm sure it's going to translate on screen amazingly as well. Now, one thing I do want to talk about for the video that they released is we do get some better looks at his new suit, which I do really love. And there is a different suit in this one that we'll be talking about in just a bit. But also, South Korea released a light show for Spider-Man Brand New Day with drones, which I thought was really, really cool. And of course, we have a new poster for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And the Spider-Man movie official Instagram account has changed their profile picture. And I think that means that new trailer that we've been talking about, trailer number 2, is coming pretty soon. But let's first talk about this scene right here. Spider-Man is getting kicked back into a car, and you might notice what he's wearing in this scene. This is what a lot of people have been talking about. It's actually a semi-truck, but he is wearing a sweater and a beanie. This is literally what everybody refers to as winter Spider-Man. And this, yes, of course, it reminds me of Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, that very specific scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he's sick, he's wearing the beanie, he's wearing the scarf. It's just taking me back, and it's very Spider-Man. But one big thing that this tells us right here is that he really doesn't have the same stuff that he had before. The previous Spider-Man suits that he had from Stark, they kept him warm. He didn't need to cover up, but when he's in his new Spider-Man suit that he made himself, it obviously doesn't have the same capabilities as the old suits had because it's not Stark tech, and now he has to cover up. He's got to wear layers now as he fights in New York City in the snow because obviously it gets incredibly cold. So Spider-Man is not immune to getting cold. But what's also very interesting about this is I do believe that this takes place sort of in the beginning, kind of where we go over that villain montage scene of Spider-Man just fighting multiple villains. And what we've heard is that each fight, something happens and he upgrades his suit. So I'm sure, unfortunately, I say that because I really like this, but I'm sure, unfortunately, this means that he's going to upgrade his suit eventually to have kind of better capabilities of keeping him warm. So I think this is it's in the beginning of the film, and we're going to get a 4-year time jump ahead into the future after this montage takes place, and he probably will solve his cold problem with his fabricator that we know that he has, because Sony and Marvel released the first 3 pages of the script, and we found out that he's got a fabricator, and it looks pretty cool from what we've seen in the actual trailer. Now, this was a light show that was done in South Korea for Spider-Man Brand New Day. It looks really, really cool, and I just gotta say, I think this is very clever, especially because South Korea, they love Marvel over there. They have a mass population who loves Marvel, so this had to be insanely cool. I think it's insanely cool just looking at it. I would love to see something like this where I live. I don't think that'll ever happen, unfortunately, but they even show the ninjas, and it's kind of funny that even in this scene where Spider-Man is jumping out the hand ninjas, the ones on the bottom still do kind of appear to be going in a different direction under him. Maybe it's Daredevil. That's what everybody's been thinking lately. So I found that kind of funny, but overall, I think this is just really cool, and it shows us that we've been talking about this for a while, but Marvel and Sony really are doing different marketing techniques for Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday. We got the chair video, we got the 4 teaser trailers in front of Avatar Fire and Ash, and now we're getting things like this. And I think it's really cool because it just makes us more excited. It gives us more material to talk about and geek out about online. So I think it's really cool. And speaking of more material, they did drop a new poster for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I love it. I gotta say, I don't think the posters in the past were that good, but so far for Spider-Man Brand New Day, they have been pretty dang good. And the caption here is the world has forgotten Peter Parker, but he hasn't forgotten them. And I think that says a lot about the movie. One, it says a lot about him, just his character in general, because although nobody really remembers who he is, he still chooses every day to be Spider-Man and protect those that he loves. And of course, just everybody. He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Nobody knows who he is, right? He doesn't get the praise himself. He doesn't get really any benefits from being Spider-Man. In fact, it causes a lot of pain for him. But he chooses to be Spider-Man anyways, because like he said in Homecoming, if you have the ability to help these people and you don't and something bad happens to them, it's on you. You know, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but the world has forgotten Peter Parker, but he hasn't forgotten them. Of course, this is a big kind of tie into MJ and Ned. And a lot of people are really wondering, well, what's going to happen at the end with MJ? Is she going to remember him? Is he going to tell her and everything comes back? Or do we go into Doomsday and that doesn't really happen until later on? We do have a tiny report about the ending of Spider-Man Brand New Day, not about what is going to happen, but what people are saying about how good that it actually is. According to the first test screenings that got out for Spider-Man Brand New Day, the movie was amazing. And some people even said that this is the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time, which is a really big statement. But when those screenings came out, that's what some people were saying. Now, My Time to Shine, Hello, just recently said today that she has heard that people are saying that the ending is insane. And I think that's something that we know the least amount when it comes to Spider-Man Brand New Day. We don't really know what's going to happen at the end. But I'm glad that we're hearing that it's insane, that it's going to be great. Also, the post-credit scene. We've heard a lot about the post-credit scene. We've heard many different versions of what could happen. I like the one that has Steve Rogers showing up because he actually does remember who Spider-Man is. I think that would be really emotional for Peter, for somebody, even just one person out there, especially Captain America, somebody that he looks up to remember who he is. And then bring him into the fight, whether that's in Doomsday, which we never know, but it doesn't seem like it so far, or in Avengers Secret Wars. But this movie, no doubt, is on track to become, of course, one of the biggest superhero films of all time. The trailer itself broke every trailer record out there. And according to some accounts like Global Box Office, it's expected to obviously be the biggest movie this summer, set to have an historic domestic opening weekend of 250 to 300 million. We'll have to wait and see. Again, it shattered the records for the trailers. I think a lot of people are really excited for this one, really waiting to go see it. And let's talk about that second trailer. We have heard reports all last week that a new trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day is being prepared. Now, Sony and Marvel have released this. It seems like they're kind of prepping us for another trailer to come pretty soon, or maybe this was something that they were talking about. But again, they just changed their profile picture, which usually means something is about to happen. I think that could mean trailer number 2 is coming out soon. Plus, we are actually kind of due for trailer number 2 because this movie comes out in July. So it's about 2 months away. We need that main trailer. And then, of course, from there, we're going to start to get those TV spots. That's classic Marvel and Sony. I remember for Far From Home and, of course, No Way Home, they did those like every day, every other day. They put out a lot. So the marketing for this movie is clearly ramping up. They want it to be, you know, one of the biggest movies of all time. I know it's going to hit $1 billion. Will it hit $2 billion? Could this outperform Avengers Endgame? Could it outperform Avatar? We'll have to wait and see, but I'll be there. First day it comes out, will you? Let me know, and let me know how excited you are after seeing these new promotions for Spider-Man Brand New Day in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Spider-Man and Marvel news. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.